All right, Shaq, it is time to ask your question at the top of the show. Here it is. Is your house clean?
Yes, very clean. I am a germaphobe, and I have obsessive compulsive disorder, so I clean constantly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah, man. It's a problem.
Everybody, check us out at Six Unseemly on all social media at unseemlyquestions.com. Welcome to Six Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Shak Standley.
What up?
All right. We've got a great contestant on the show today. Everybody put your hands together for Sean Donnelly. All right.
Hello.
Hey. Hello.
Thank you for having me. First time, long time.
I'm so glad you're on the show. This is going to be a good time, I can tell.
That's a sweet ass beard, man.
Thank you. It's to cover my fat face.
We also have a wonderful studio audience. Put your hands together for Jeffrey, Joseph, and Ray Sani. Welcome to the show. All right, let me explain how the show works, Sean, and then we're going to get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I'll ring a bell if I like your answer, like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring a bell, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I'll decide whether or not it's worth giving you $5 whole for your appearance on the show.
Got it.
All right, let's get started with question number 1. Question number 1. Do you consider yourself barrel-chested?
I don't know if I can. Yes, I am I'm like old-timey circus man, barrel-chested. I definitely. Yes, I look like a wrestler from the 80s with my shirt
you
off.
do have kind of like a strongman body. You do. Like you do. Yeah, you're kind of you've got that thing going on. Like when I see you, I see like Captain Kirk. You know?
Yes. I'm like a strong man with no upper body strength. I'm like a strong man with the strength of a newt. That's basically what's going on there. But yeah, I think I always wish I was lanky, and you would never describe me as. When I was like 16, I was lanky, but I think there's probably been a couple of people who are like, you're kind of barrel-chested. Yeah, so I would say yes. That answer is 100% yes, and going forward, I'm gonna call myself that instead of fat. That's fantastic. Don't call me fat. I'm barrel-chested. Yeah. How about a barrel?
I'm gonna give you a bell on that because you've satisfied my curiosity.
Very good question.
It is time for question number 2. But before we do that, can you tell people out there what you do?
What I do is I show people my barrel chest on stage on a nightly basis. I just barrel the chest every day. No, I do stand-up comedy on the road and in New York City, and I have a podcast called Brand New Jerks. That's what I do work-wise. I do otherwise is not much else. I watch movies and I talk to my mom once a day. That's what I do.
Who's on your podcast with you?
Very funny comedian Ray Zawadny. It's a podcast called Brand New Jerks.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. Everybody check out Brand New Jerks. Now, it is time for question number 2.
Cool.
Question number 2. What are your favorite Irish cliches?
These are very pointed questions.
Well, I write questions specifically for each person.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, so my favorite ever, and my mom, the thing is, my mom uses these old-timey sayings from like her grandmother's time, and one of the best ones, and I think this is pretty Irish, one of the best ones I ever heard is, if she doesn't think she looks nice, she'll look in the mirror and she'll say, I look like the wreck of the Hesperus. And for years, I had no idea.
It's Greek mythology, right?
What'd you say?
Is it Greek mythology?
No, it's a ship from a story that sank in like 1902. It's just like a fictional ship from like a short story from like 1802. But like, I'm like, stop, just say Titanic. Don't say don't stop trying to be quirky with your old timey sayings.
That's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut. When we were growing up, we couldn't call my mom she. If you called her she would say she's the cat's mother, which I think was Irish as well. And I still don't know what that one means either. I have no idea. That's how you know they're old timey sayings, because you have to like look up in a book what they actually mean. You can't get it from the saying, you know.
Maybe someone said, a friend of mine, he used to talk about an Irish saying that someone said that like he would snatch a goat through a church fence. Like that was like a saying.
Like that's how slick he is. He could pull a goat through a church fence. Is that
I
what it
don't,
is?
but it was like some Irish saying that someone said he could snatch a goat through a church fence.
There's a common one that we never use. It's like real Irish called "tis himself," which means just like that's him, like that's himself. Tis himself, which means like it's usually I think it means like this guy's an asshole, but people are just like to be nice. They're like, tis himself. That's him. That's what it is.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's all it's all code.
I'm gonna say Bell because I learned a lot, and that was great. And everybody who doesn't like learning.
Absolutely.
It is time for question number 3. Question number 3: would you be a vampire or food?
Wait, do you mean would I be a vampire or vampire food, which is human? Like, are you saying? Like,
yes,
or just actual food?
I guess maybe during the vampire apocalypse, would you end up on the side of the vampires or would you be food?
I think I'd because then there's I think I would like to be the person that says food so I can keep my I don't know, I think it sounds more noble to say food, but I think I would be too curious about being a vampire. It just seems like too much fun, but then you're cursed because then you live forever and it's a whole big thing. So
it's a whole big thing.
A whole big thing. I would say vampire. I would say even though it'd be a lot of issues would arise, I would still say vampire. Definitely vampire.
What do you think, Ray? Would you be vampire or food?
I'd be food because the vampires really like to eat food, and I would really love to be eaten.
Whoa. Good to hear.
This took a turn.
Jeffrey, what would you be, vampire or food?
I would like to be a vampire, just so when I audition for What We Do in the Shadows and I don't get it, I can be like, this is bullshit.
or
it's a lack of representation.
Exactly.
But if you got it without being food, it'd be cultural appropriation for the vampires.
No winning.
No winning. You can't win either way.
It is now time for question number 4. I'm sorry. I'm going to say Bell on that one because we had a nice round of conversation. All right, it's time for question number 4. Question number 4. Tell me a personal ghost story.
Oh, a personal ghost story? The only personal ghost story, and it's kind of too serious, is like right after my dad died a long time ago. I was walking down the street in Manhattan and I was convinced I saw him like 3 people ahead of me. And that's the closest thing I have to a ghost. I kind of had like a mini panic attack because I was like, oh my God, that's definitely my dad. Like from behind, I was like, that's definitely my dad. So like, that's the closest thing that I have to a real ghost story. It's not really funny or really uplifting, but yeah, that 100% happened to me. Like it was like 3 months after my dad died. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the back of my dad's head. And it was not my dad, obviously. But for a second, I thought I saw a ghost.
Did you have a thought process like during that moment when you thought you saw your dad? Were you like, did he fake it? Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah. All those years of TV when I'm like, oh, is he on the lam? And I caught him? Like, what happened here?
Yeah. Well,
is he
I'm
in the
going to
witness
say
relocation program? What's going on?
pretty entertaining, but no Bell on that question.
Okay, no problem.
His dad died.
I realized this. Victor doesn't like emotional stuff. Remember? Because
no, I do I like emotion. I do. I love emotion and I love people. I'm a big fan.
I'm just trying to get honest.
I'm a big fan of these emotions I hear of. It is time for question number 5. Question number 5. Do you dance alone?
No, because I'm white, and I even insult myself if I was to see myself. I'm a very bad dancer. I feel like
when at least when I go out to a club, like if you go out to a club, the people dancing along alone are usually white women. I would say the ones who are tripping out on the music by themselves.
Are you going to?
I would
fish
say it's
shows
usually. I
constantly?
mean, but
What
you're
do you
saying
do?
you're saying white is an excuse. I'm saying that I've seen plenty of white women dance alone at clubs.
I'm just a bad dancer. I will sing alone. I sing in my apartment all day, and I have a terrible voice, so I do that. But dance, I can't. I cannot justify me dancing ever.
Oh, you're just
I-
like a bad dancer.
I'm a bad dancer. I do like the white guy wedding dance. I just do the hands above the head, the hands moving thing. This thing.
How did you find out you were a bad dancer? Was there a moment where you're like, I'm gonna be good at dancing, and then you figured out you were bad? How do you remember?
Because what I did was I did an experiment. I watched people who were good at dancing and realized I wasn't doing that. I have eyeballs, and I went, "Holy shit, that's dancing!" So yeah, no, I just know I'm a bad dancer. Like I have no, like I'm probably like if you're at a party or something, I could probably like not embarrass. I'm not Elaine from Seinfeld. You know what I mean? Like. But I'm not like I don't consider myself like an actual good dancer with like good rhythm. But I could like keep up if I had to dance. I don't want to like not join in a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel weirder staying out of a dance situation. Then you feel even more awkward. So I'll join in a little bit, then kind of go get a drink and stuff like that. But I'm not very good. I would not be considered good.
Got it. Okay. And that's your plan for how you socially survive in dance situations.
Exactly. Yeah, to the bare minimum.
Got it.
I'm like a civil service worker when it comes to dancing.
I'm going to say, it wasn't the answer that I wanted, but I enjoyed the answer that I got. Yeah. It is now time for question number 6. Question number 6. What's the first thing you would fix about the world?
Oh my God, that's a biggie. I think I would... I know it's a very easy thing to say, but I don't think of getting rid of social media, but I think I would have the world take a 6-month break from social media. I think that could help us. I think it's so brutal. I know it's very cliche to say, but 6-month break, I've never heard that take on it. You can go back to it.
Also, now what would be the first thing you would fix about the world if your identity was public doing it? I'm kidding. Because if you turned off social media for 6 months, people would kill you.
Public enemy #1.
People would come after you.
That'd be okay. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to find me. I don't know. I'd be in hiding somewhere. No, even with my identity being the one who did it, because they have that app that's like called 1 Sec, where it's like you pick one app that it delays you opening up the app, and people that use it love it. Like it does this black screen for like 15 or 20 seconds. And a lot of people that they don't go, like Instagram, they won't go on it because this app is going. If you just did that for everybody for a short period of time, you would see people probably get off it, maybe like treat people better. It got so out of hand, So that's, I don't know, it's kind of a frivolous thing, but it's still something that can help, I think.
All right. I don't even know if it would be ultimately helpful or harmful. I have no clue.
I think I wouldn't even be
able to
interact
guess.
more in person, like it forced like kind of how you used to. So I think it could help interpersonally, like helped all the political bullshit. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just talking.
It's a tough call because I think that a lot of times as the world evolves, like when things evolve and could potentially be neutral. Okay, so when things evolve and could potentially be neutral, it's hard to think that, like, sometimes I think to myself, is this thing that I'm looking at wrong? Or is it just I am the old generation and the world's evolving? Like the fact that they're like taking in technology and that's just part of their lives now. Like, am I just the old curmudgeon? Like, it should still be the way I wanted it to be. We use pencils.
No, I'm basing it more on like comments online. I don't mean, I'm not saying, technology is fantastic. I'm a fan. I like adapting. I'm not an old curmudgeon yet. Maybe in certain things, but like, I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like the troll culture thing. That's never good for anybody, right?
I don't know. I mean,
you think when you're saying, oh, that's just part of who they. No, because
I don't know.
People that troll people aren't. It's like in person. If you met them, it would be completely different.
I think I would instead, if I was doing this in the same realm of what you're doing, I would just make it impossible for people to be anonymous online. Like if you're online, people know exactly who you are.
Well, hey, that works too. That would be amazing. Elon Musk thing where he's like, I want to verify every Twitter account. Like he's like with like documents and stuff. Which sounds a little bit odd, but that's kind of what he meant.
Well, I mean, if you want, people like the anonymity. They like that power. I don't know. I mean, but
Wait, that
ultimately-
means I'd have to get rid of my Grindr account.
all right, Jeffrey.
Only for 6 months.
Don't beat a dead horse over there, Jeffrey. All right, I'm gonna say Bell on that.
All right.
I almost
bunch
said
of
no Bell
bells.
because of Jeffrey's outburst, but I'm gonna say Bell.
Okay, cool.
All right, you've answered all 6 questions. Thank you very much. Now it's time to decide whether or not you get $5. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where to find you?
Yes, you can find me. I have a website, SeanDonnellyComedy.com, and on the social media I was just talking about, I am at Shawnee Time. That's SeanyTime on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, that's Shawnee time. Great. Okay, well, it's time to decide whether or not you get $5. As always, we canvass the room, starting with you, Shak. What do you think? Should Sean get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I want to say yes because
Okay.
I also have very strong opinions about social media and technology, and I think they're destroying us. So give them that $5.
You think they're destroying us?
Yeah, they're making us less human.
All right, got it. Okay, let's move on to Jeffrey. What do you think? Should Sean get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I gotta say this first.
Okay.
The way Shaq owns that chair he's sitting in right now is quintessentially American. Just like, yes, it's my chair. And I'm gonna
It's a real Archie Bunker pose he's got going
Oh,
on.
I fucking love it.
Technology's ruining us, meathead.
All right. For those of you just listening to the audio version, everybody likes how Shaq slouches.
It's not.
Oh yeah, I got real bad posture.
It's kind of like it's a lean back.
Yeah, it's a cool-
he's like leaning back, like this is my world. No, I like
It's like
it.
Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
I was just thinking about that. It's a very good and dated reference.
Yeah. Well, I'm an old man, so there we go.
I say $5 for Sean Donnelly.
Thank
All
you, my
right.
friend.
Jeffrey is on the $5 train. All right. Ray, what do you think? Should Sean
Yeah.
get... Oh, all right.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
That's totally fine. That's fine. You know, obviously you're a little excited and really want him to get the money.
Yeah, I'm just really into barrel-chested men. So stay on.
Who isn't?
I'm really loving this phrase.
Throwing
I
them
can't-
dollars.
Yes, please, thank you. I'm using it going forward.
All right. Let's just ask our producer, Rachel. What do you think, Rachel? Should Sean get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I'm gonna have to say yes, because I'm somebody who will not go on the dance floor under any circumstances, and it seems like he's willing to cover for someone like me, and I really appreciate that.
All right.
You got it.
She's like saying you should get the money because you are a great anxiety shield.
It's true.
All right. Okay. So let's ask the last person that we need to ask, Sean, and that is you.
I think, yeah, I had a really good time. So I think just to put the cherry on top, the $5 would make this such an amazing experience. So yeah, I think I should get the $5. Sure.
Wow, it's well said. You know what? I'm going to give you $5. Congratulations. You win $5 for appearing on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great job. This is great to have you. I just got to wrap this up. Shaq, what did you learn from this week's show?
Oh man, I learned that Sean can't dance. And that his mom makes a lot of weird ass boat references that nobody from this era would understand. And I think that's pretty hot.
And you think that is pretty hot.
Yeah.
Everybody, check us out at 6 Unseemly on all social media at unseemlyquestions.com.
Starbane's Audio, a podcast network.